This is a recording of the cervical screening webinar that we delivered on behalf of GPNet 5 PCN on Wednesday the 12th of March. I'd like to just introduce ourselves. I'm Dr. Adams, GP at Violet Lane, with a special interest in women's health. And so I'm very keen to make sure that our women are well informed about their choices with regards to screening. And then
I'm Sam Wyatt. Violet Lane patients will know me as the phlebotomist at Violet Lane. I'm also a GP assistant and, more importantly, a cervical cancer survivor.
Thank you, Sam. And Laura Collins was with us on the live webinar but isn't here today, but she is our nurse here at Violet Lane who will be conducting your smear tests here in the surgery. So what did we want to aim to do today? We wanted to improve awareness of the cervical screening programme for you. We wanted to remove any obstacles that might be there for you in taking up the opportunity of screening and provide you with some more resources to help you decide. We hope that this will improve the access and uptake to cervical screening across all our practices as a very important part of your ongoing health. So what we're going to do is we are going to hear from Sam, who, as she mentioned, is a cervical cancer survivor, and why she thinks screening is so important. We're going to watch a video just so you can understand a little bit more about the process and be shown how best to contact your surgery to arrange a smear. Another thing we'd like to communicate to our women is that if you are busy working and you're unable to get to your practice during the week, there is a service that runs from our extended access hub in Selsdon on a Saturday, and that is something that can also be arranged via your own GP. So first of all, what is cervical cancer? Well, the cervix is the neck of the womb, and you can see that on the diagram here. And this is a cancer, unfortunately, that affects young women with a peak age of 35 to 44. It can be symptomless in the early stages and contributes to 1% of cancer deaths in women. It is the only gynecological cancer with a screening test. And a screening test is something which is offered to all those eligible and is a way of picking up any sign of cancer at the earliest possible stage so that it can be treated more easily. So Sam has very kindly agreed to answer a few questions with regards to her own personal journey with cervical cancer. So Sam, how old were you when you were diagnosed?
I was 35, had my treatment when I was 36.
Wow, okay. So it's, and how did you find out about your diagnosis?
Through the cervical screening process.
Right, okay.
I had some peculiar symptoms, and it coincided with my smear being due.
Right, okay.
It was through the process.
Through the process, okay. And what happened after you'd had your smear?
My initial smear came back ambiguous.
Okay.
So they re-screened me.
Yeah.
I was positive. So they sent me to hospital, to the colposcopy clinic, where I had a Let's Loop excision.
Okay.
Unfortunately, the histology came back as positive for cancer. I was referred to the Royal Marsden, where I was given the option of cervical removal or hysterectomy. Okay. And as I chose not, never wanted children, I chose the hysterectomy.
Okay. And so that was obviously a big journey. And so how long ago was that now?
That was 21 years next October. I'm now coming up to 57.
Coming up to 57. Okay. So what would your message be for those on our webinar today or hearing this recording, thinking about taking up their screening?
1 in 150 women will get cervical cancer. The earlier any cancer is picked up, the better the prognosis. in my particular case, by the time I got to have the hysterectomy, the cells had already started, the cancer cells had started to infiltrate the womb. So it could have been a lot worse had it not been picked up when it was. I appreciate it's uncomfortable, it's not particularly pleasant, you can feel embarrassed, you can feel very self-conscious. But being completely blunt, your options are 5 minutes of self-consciousness or potentially dead. I don't think there's any real choice there.
So you really believe that saved your life?
Very much so. Very much so. It would have been a lot worse had they not picked it up when they did.
So Sam, thank you for sharing your story, and that's certainly inspiring for us all. So it might just be helpful to just remind everyone who is actually eligible for the cervical screening programme. If you are getting a recording of this video, you will be included in that. But it is all women aged 25 to 49, and that would be every 3 years, and that's all done automatically, so you should be getting a reminder every 3 years about that. From the ages of 49 to 64, it goes out to every 5 years. Now, the way the screening works, and this is a slight change even from your time, is it detects the human papillomavirus. You may have heard of it as HPV. And HPV is the leading trigger for cervical cancer, which is why that is the thing that they try to look for. If the HPV, the virus, is detected, that doesn't mean cancer, but what that means is that they want to be more vigilant and check for cancer. So they send a sample to the lab for something called cytology to look for any abnormal cells. If abnormal cells are found, then you would be invited for further tests at the hospital, as Sam experienced, such as the colposcopy, which she mentioned. And so that is something that the hospital would immediately be contacting you to arrange. If the HPV is found, but they do not find any abnormal cells, then all that means is that you do have the virus, which the body does naturally clear over time, but whilst you have it, there is a slightly increased risk. And so for that reason, you would have a more frequent smear test every 12 months to check that there are no changes. Once you've cleared the HPV virus, you would go back into the normal screening schedule every 3 years or 5 years, depending on your age. So this is something that is an automatic recall. If you do not believe that you've been contacted by your practice, or you're unsure whether you're eligible, then I'm sure your practice would be happy to check that for you. So we're going to watch a short video now on the cervical screening process.
I was on my way to my cervical screening. Not exactly something you look forward to.
At first, I didn't think I needed to do this. I thought I wasn't at risk of cervical cancer.
I was worried it would be embarrassing and painful, but my friend said it's really important. It can prevent cancer.
And my girlfriend said I could ask for a woman to do the test and she'd come with me. So I thought,
Let's do it. When I got there, I was nervous. But the nurse was really nice. She does these tests all the time.
I took my jeans and pants off and lay down on the bed with my knees up and my legs open. The nurse carefully put something called a speculum into my vagina to help her see my cervix. Then she used a small soft brush to take the sample.
I told the nurse I found my last cervical screening test a little painful, so she used a different sized speculum. She made sure I was okay while she did the test. It didn't hurt this time. It was just a bit uncomfortable. That's it, all done. Are you okay?
It was all done in a few minutes, and then I went back to work. They'll send me a letter with the results.
And if they do find anything unusual, they can monitor me and give me treatment if I need it to prevent cervical cancer from developing in the first place. I'm not scared of it now.
If you're not sure that you need to, just think, if you've got a cervix, then cervical screening is for you.
This includes women, trans men, and some non-binary people.
It saves lives.
Great. So just to wrap up, we hope you found that helpful. If you do at this point feel that you would like to book in your smear test, then please do contact your practice where you are registered, and that will be by calling the surgery to book a nurse appointment. For Violet Lane, you can also contact us online via the admin request form 24 hours a day. And for all those of you watching, the other thing, as I mentioned before, access to the Saturday smears in Selsdon available via the extended access. Just call your surgery if that would be more convenient for you. We hope this has been helpful, and all the best.